Peel Regional Police. There's Mississauga, these famous buildings. I seen a bunch of German Shepherds today. Like at least four. There's a big German Shepherd Day today. I thought I charged my camera, but I only charged my e-bike battery. And when I woke up this morning, I got everything ready, and I got to go out. I got everything ready, my e-bike battery, and I go on the I have my camera, but then I got a like one video, and then the battery was dead, and then I had to start charging the battery, and I was e-biking around, and there was so much awesome stuff happening in my local area. They had a big barbecue, community barbecue type of thing. And I wish I would have got that on video. But it should be quite a long summer for us. There's a sheriff. I've never seen a sheriff wearing this. He passed away. Former Sheriff Frank Anderson. Halton Police. My family were big out in Halton, like they used to live out there, so I heard the term Halton and all that a lot. And I remember this recycle bin that used to say Halton. Deputy Jeff Hill. Oh, we got a guy talking about motorcycles. That's a big thing right now.
What I want to talk about today is the pre-inspection for riding your motorcycle. The weather's turning nice. A lot of us want to get our motorcycles out onto the road. What do we need to do for pre-inspection? So the first thing that I'd like to do is I walk around and I check my tires. I want to make sure that my pressure is good and that the tread patterns are good in my tires. Make sure there's no flat spots. I then have the advantage of the motorcycle being off the ground. I can see underneath. Have any fluids leaked? What's my oil like? What's my final drive like? Just check underneath. Make sure that during the winter, nothing is leaked from there. What I wanted to do then is make sure my battery's fully charged up and start my motorcycle. I want my motorcycle to run for about 10 minutes. Let the fluids get warm in there. Shut it down and check your oil level. If your oil level is good, everything is good, then you're ready to start going. From there, I want to check my lights, make sure that they're good. Check my brake lights, make sure that they're good. 4 ways if you have them, turn them on and check them, and make sure that all of your lights are good to go for when you hit the road. That's what I do for my pre-inspection check. Ride safely.
Perfect.
Ooh, watch this. My neighbor just had her e-bike stolen. if you got a bike like this and you can take it inside, take it inside. That's my opinion. Or get multiple chains and alarms. And get the thicker rated, more motorcycle approved chains or whatever. I don't want to watch the sexual violence thing. I think I said a lot about or sexual harassment. As my probation officer sexually harassed me and others. So, but it doesn't always happen. Look at this little canine. He's more than a little canine, but he's looking good. Anyway. Oh, I think I clicked it because I seen a dachshund today named Peanut and another one. And yeah, and lots of German shepherds. And I love Crime Stoppers. That's the thing about this one. And when I was younger, well, I sort of didn't know how the system worked. I actually was on my own and I had my own house rental and all that. And I was always a law abiding citizen. And I know it's few and short to come, but I was one of those people and I was one of a kind. And I remember when I was just sort of becoming an adult and I was 18 and I had my own house and I was working for this company on the internet. Uh, I'm one of those people that were working with the US, but not in the US. If you ever have filed taxes, you'll see, it'll say, are you somebody that makes money in the US but doesn't live there, et cetera, et cetera. And I was one of those people. And I didn't understand how to make and not many people know about those people because it's few and short to come. There's quite a few ones that there's some big time people. They live up in the penthouses in Toronto, I guess, or what have you, that work on the internet, yada yada. But it took a while to learn how to properly report crime and all that. And Crime Stoppers is a and they actually do. It's not a dead website. Like I was like thinking it could be a dead website. You heard about Crime Stoppers, but when you submit something, I wonder if they actually do, and they do because I submitted something about my neighbor having like too many not taking care of her pets and letting them roam and all that, and they actually did um come and check on that. So that was surprising because I did have one encounter, not to complain, where I almost got robbed for a tablet before. And I tried to flag down a cop or whatever when I was younger, but he just drove off. And then it left me offset when I was a kid. But I was still like renting a house. So it's a weird situation. I was very lucky when it came to the financial side of it to pay the rent and yada yada when I was a kid. I just found like some really smart friends from some really great areas around the country, and we all just did well with the company and all that. But I had a tablet, and yeah, I almost got robbed for it, but that set me off. But well, you had to Crime Stopper it too. It was just maybe the officer didn't see you, maybe he was doing something else or what have you. It was so you start to learn the system. You kind of have to put in the effort. Nobody's going to put in the effort for you, is what I learned about the police system. You think like, oh, if I get assaulted or something, and it's not in the general public and somebody makes a report, then yeah, like nobody knows about it and you go home and cry. Like you have to get on the phone or call. There has to be some sort of effort, or somebody's got to make some sort of effort. There's or sometimes there's concerned citizens and yada yada, but you gotta it takes energy, and you have to use your voice and explain what's going on and all that. And that's what I didn't understand. I was intimidated. And I was like, couldn't even talk about stuff that was going on. And then the people that were doing bad things weren't even getting in trouble. Then I learned the system. I learned how lucky I was to be like the kid I was with the computer and this little thing and all that. And it's like I always knew I was super special, but like for how hard I worked in the art. But then when I went and seen how hard it is for other people, it's like whoa. But not everybody's living it hard though. A lot of people are doing really good too. I want to stay. Well, and when I changed completely, sort of in my actions, or I'm trying to, with the way you go about stuff on your day to day basis of living or whatever. You generally haven't had any issues. I had one theft recently. Somebody stole my phone. Other than that, it's been a pretty smooth ride. My neighbor had her bike stolen, which is kind of awkward, around the same time that my iPhone stolen. Okay. But that's scary because then the thief starts to get confidence. And that's scary. When a thief stole an iPhone and he stole a bike and now he's getting confidence. And his stomach starts to stretch if he's getting money a lot, right? He's eating illegal food, right? Because he's did an illegal crime, and then he generally they're not very smart when it comes to their money. They just blow it on illegal food that they shouldn't be having, and then their stomach stretched, and then they're mad as hell when they don't have money next, and they're doing another crime. It goes back to that teach a man to fish thing, and they caught an illegal fish, and then they think that they've got this illegal fishing business, but the guy that owns the fishing box or whatever, he knows somebody's stealing from the fishing box and yada yada. It's kind of like that. I know a guy. There's an old story. It's an Ontario story too. There was a guy. He owned a property. He had a shed. Had the beach comp. He had a shed, and he kept liquor in his shed. Liquor. And there was some guys that learned that this guy was storing liquor in his shed. There were some guys. It's like what? There's some guys in the liquor in the shed, and then he put poison in the liquor in the shed, and then the guy got poisoned. This was in Ontario. It was my brother's friend. He was stealing bottles of liquor from the shed, but that's not a good thing either. The guy shouldn't have put rat poison, but that was legal too. I think it was a justified thing. He had alcohol in his shed and he put rat poison in it. And you're not supposed to go into anybody's shed. Well, there is a law. I guess you're not. I just heard what like with the consumables, you're supposed to put like hazard. There's supposed to be a hazardous sticker on it. This happened years ago, I remember. I'm not sure who it was, but I'm fairly sure the person died. They drinking the alcohol that they were stealing from this shed, and the owner put the poison in the liquor. The falling through the ice. A lot of people have fallen through the ice. Lil Durk, the highlight. Yeah, he's been doing it really big. Let's see, Doug Ford. Doug Ford out in Thunder Bay, somewhere that I think about all the time. Not all the time, but if I wasn't where I am now, it would be Thunder Bay.
Yards here in Thunder Bay. We invested $8.7 million for training and technology to make sure we create good quality jobs for the people of Thunder Bay. These ships play a critical role on economic development, especially within the critical minerals that we are mining. We're creating economic development, we're creating great jobs, building infrastructure right across the north. We're spending $641 million on repairing roads and building roads and highways and bridges. So we're pouring the money in to make sure that the people up here have good paying jobs now and in the future as well. Well, we're at Zettel shipyards here in Thunder Bay. We invested $8.7 million for training and technology to make sure we create good quality jobs for the people of Thunder Bay. These ships play a critical role on economic development, especially within the critical minerals that we are mining. We're creating economic development.
He has been building H shipyards. Zettel Shipyards is the largest Canadian ship repair and construction company on the Great Lakes. Let me see. Zettel Shipyards. I seen a big boat down in Windsor. Big boat, Canadian boat. Marine service. The biggest boat I've ever seen was cruise ship. I went on a cruise ship down to the Bahamas. It was gigantic. This one's got cannon on the side of it. Oh, I always like the style of these Canadian ships. I seen one, I can't remember her name. Down in Windsor, right there on the Detroit River. She was big. I can't remember her name. Anyways, there's Dougie. Get it done, Doug Ford. I haven't seen all this stuff since COVID. Sault Ste. Marie.
We're in beautiful Sault Ste. Marie at Rector Machine Works, and we're building the corridor to prosperity.
So I think we know when we look at the rich mineral resources we have in the ground in Northern Ontario that Northern Ontario has been so responsible for building up this province and bringing it to where it is today. By doing this, we're enhancing our critical mineral strategy, and we're taking those critical minerals and we're going to turn them into batteries that are going to be able to drive those electric vehicles and move us forward along our path to prosperity.
So I travel the roads most every month to see the infrastructure put in place, and being a mining supply and service company, it's nice to see that things are going to get done.
Well, this is the start of the supply chain right.
I don't look at too much Doug anymore, you know. He reminds me a lot of my Auntie Susan. And he's so busy, I don't want to get in his way, you know. Because I felt like she did well on her own too. What is this going on? I don't know where we're going with this. Oh, he's been the best premier. I don't even remember the last premier's name. Oh, he's hard working. One day I went through the directories and I seen that he's also a MP or something like that. I seen all the phone numbers. There's a phone number thing somewhere, and then I was going through it, and then you had him there. I was like, whoa! All he does is work. I strive to be something like him. The Canadian, but I probably won't because he came from a certain family. I think Ford or whatever. That's a very rich family. Kathleen Wynne, I heard that one. Dalton McGuinty. Oh, I remember when they were going on about that Dalton McGuinty. Just kidding. That was Dalton. Ferguson? I went through a cemetery today and I seen a lot of names. Doug Ford. I like the ride through it. It's good. How do I get this in the here? Oh, I had hot dogs today. I went to Circle K and I had a hot dog with mustard and one jalapeno. And then I rode my motorbike around or whatever, my e-bike, and then I think once I hit like three something, I went over to my mom. She was at the trailer, her trailer, what have you, and she barbecued on the barbecue. That was nice. A couple of those cheddar dogs. A couple of those cheddar dogs. There's Mr. Ford. He reminds me a lot of the woman I met today too. I can't remember the name. The owner of Peanut the Dachshund. Oh yeah, he had Stephen Harper, but that was the. Oh, I don't think that's Stephen Harper. Is that Bill Davis? I'm not sure. That looks like Harper. No, that's John Tory. The I'm out of it. I like John Tory. No, I like John Tory a lot. Like a lot. I like all. It reminds me of prime time UFC back in 2010, 2011 when they had all the star, or even WWF when they had Stone Cold Steve Austin. They had it's that time right now. What's that one? I don't really like that one. I like this one. This one's a good one. He's got some good ones. What's up with all the Rob Fords mixed in with the John Tories? Oh, when you search Mayor of Toronto, he's a famous mayor of Toronto, and I always ambition to be like him too. And he was super cool. And now I get their vibe over there in Toronto because I experienced Toronto from the ground up. Yeah, from the ground up I have. Because I've been to a lot of places in Toronto. But I'm done with the experiences because all the stories you hear out of some of the, like, I don't know, I had this thing. It was like, I don't care what I look like or nothing. I'm gonna just um I'm going to the bottom of the bottom. I'm experiencing everything. Like, I don't care. Like, I could go this way or something, but even at the same time, like, it's impossible to survive sometimes out there if you don't got no smarts. Luckily, they have the social services and all that. I've never seen anything like the social services. I think it was I first started getting social service in Peel region. I had never gotten social service in my life. I was like 25 years of like hardcore working. Actually, like 20, I'm 28 now. Yeah, 26 years of no social assistance. Being as poor as I would. My grandfather died in an electricity accident. My uncle died in a well drilling accident. My father abandoned me or what have you when I was 15. And I was lucky I had a good job. But then when I hit rock bottom, so did Rob Ford. Rob Ford hit rock bottom too, but I'm not going to show the pictures of it. Man, oh man, when I hit rock bottom and I got some social assistance. Wow. Just couldn't believe how lucky I was to get it. But how I mean I had always seen it on TV. It reminded me of like one of those urban TV shows. You know, they're like downtown somewhere in like some Chicago sub or downtown, like not suburb, like urban, like they're wearing like the Nike or like the Puma. I don't know how to explain it, but like I didn't used to wear that. Or I don't know how to explain it. There's a urban they wear more like the sweatpants and all that, or like the jogging. Adidas jogging things used to be big. I don't know, but it was like the urban. Yeah, you get that you get that feeling with the social assistance people. Hard to explain the feeling. I don't know. It was a certain feeling he was getting. It wasn't like these. A little bit like that though. My friend, what was his name? Not a Lumbee. A Lumbee was much more put together. This was I don't know, but he doesn't wear any shoes or socks. He just walks around everywhere barefoot. Look at these places. Yes, yes. Oh, yes. That wasn't me. My family came to Canada back in the 17 or 18, 1700s from the United Kingdom. But they came from like Germany, Denmark, Europe. But before then, they came from Asia, and before then, they came from Africa and all that. I'm highly mixed, and India. I have so much mixture of all different. I have a long. That's what white people are. The farther they moved from the equator, because it just so happens that my family history, like we came from Africa. That's the story. Everybody came from Africa. Uh, and then they moved to Europe. They moved to et cetera, et cetera. And as they moved away from the equator, their skin colors lightened up, and the pigments and the food they ate, the certain foods they ate, and all that. See, they have certain patterns of the migration. So some people are African, they come straight from Africa, like because there's still folks that are migrating like from out of Africa, their families and all that, or what have you. Each individual person, and they create the trees or whatever. Some people are at the seedling, some people are already at the end of the branch, and I was one of the people that were already at the end of the branch of it. See, like they're coming out here, they're going either this way, that way, this way. Some of them stay in Africa, some of them go this way, the families or whatever, over hundreds of years, hundreds of years. And then they may go over here and live here for like 80 years, have kids. Then the kids go to UK, da da da, and that's how what my heritage is. We went this way, kind of like that, like Asia and India and all that, and then like somehow I think we went to like Russia or what have you, and yada yada, and all over here, and then we also went to United Kingdom, and then we were over in Canada, and that's me. After a couple hundred years in Canada. So I come from some famous lineage or what have you. It's a lineage. Or else I wouldn't be the person that I am today with the white skin or whatever, with the accents or whatever, and the relations and everything certain where I live or what have you, with the natural born Canadian citizenship and yada yada. It all came from somewhere. Every person comes from some other person who is a part of a certain family. And we all always talk about the strength of families. So my family, whatever, it all starts at the base animal or what have you, but we became so smart, we're so intelligent humans and whatnot. We're very intelligent humans, and we're very compassionate. So we don't think too animalistic. We kind of just are what we are. But that is how it worked. But sometimes you don't want to think about where your lineage came from and all that. Um, but yeah, your mom had a mom, and your mom's mom had a mom, and your mom's mom had a mom. And your mom's mom had a mom, and mom, and a mom, all the way back until God created the heavens, the earth, and everything in between. I think, well, God didn't create humans right away. First, he had other things that he was doing too on the map or whatever. And there was Pangea and yada. And where this is just one earth. Then he came up with the idea of the splitting image, to create the humans in his splitting image and yada yada, and then he has this human earth, and we are with God and he's with us, but it is sort of a world that is disposable. It's a very disposable world. But then you do at the same time over disposability, waste. Yeah, you want to watch your waste too. You can save a lot of money. It's all about that money. I think I saved the most. I think I made the most money or whatever just by not wasting or whatever. Look at all this. It's funny how you're really hungry and you're so hungry you'll just eat the whole plate. Like you don't care, and then as soon as you eat the plate, you don't mind what happens with the food. You don't mind if other people eat it. But you got to watch that. That was genetically in my family. We would waste a lot. My mom used to do it. And then I've been training my mom not to waste anymore. I've been training her not, and she's been doing good. She's been doing really good. Yeah, we've been doing really good.